All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining today. It is day 24 of the 30-day cryptocurrency challenge, and you know the market has been so turbulent during this challenge. There's all kinds of things that have happened, and it's just made everything go all over the place. And it really leaves me with the question of, are we getting a legit experience here in this challenge with so much crap going on? And the answer is maybe yeah. So, what should we expect from Bitcoin? What should we expect from the other cryptocurrencies? Is this the normal? And I think that we have to be, conscious of that. Yeah, it really is kind of the normal, isn't it? I mean, and I'm not sure what to do about that, other than, we have to live within whatever is thrown at us with this. While cryptocurrency trading looks very much like stock trading, it is much more the wild, wild west. There are so few controls on this stuff that, and there's so many countries involved. I mean, if you think of like the U.S. stock market and all of the rules and regulations and stuff, plus the fact that it's closed on the weekends and it's closed, overnight every night. And, but cryptocurrency never sleeps, and it is 100% international. And so if you think that, like GDAX, which is based here in the United States, if you think that it does not have a huge Chinese influence in it, you are 100% wrong. And I'm not saying China is bad. I'm just giving this as an example that it is a foreign country that is involved with this, because this is not about a single country. This is about everybody. And it's one of the great things about it, and it's one of the things that's a little bit scary too. So there are no protections in this, and which means that some people will make a lot of money, and some people will lose a lot of money. And so it is, basically, it's the Wild West. And even though Bitcoin came out in 2009, and we are in 2017, this is, it is still very lawless, very volatile, and all over the place. So, okay. Now, I am taking questions, about everything, and we're going to go over, this is financial nullsec, yes, if we want to relate it over to Eve. I am willing to take questions, and we're going to go over some things today. I'm going to talk about some of my strategies. I'm going to talk about that, what I am going to do. And I need to say I'm not a financial advisor. I am a normal person that has no financial training, except that I'm an entrepreneur and I've created several businesses, and some of those have done really well and some have not. So far with the cryptocurrency trading, I am down on my funds. I have not made money. And if we were to take at the very beginning point of when we started this challenge, it was literally at about, let's see, it was at 59.89. Bitcoin was on October 20th. And so if we took a snapshot right now, and said, okay, if I had just held on to my Bitcoin, would I have made profit? Well, if I keep talking like another minute, it might be that we lost money. Yeah, so actually, what did I say it was? It was 50, oh, it's 59.89. Yep, it is an actual loss because it's 59.70 right now. So, but it did hit a high of like 7,800. So what if you had cashed out at 7,800? So that would be a, $1,800 profit. On the cryptocurrency challenge, putting in only $100, I don't know what that would equate to. It would equate to 10%, let's see, 10, 15, 20% increase, which still at the end of the 30 days, if we were trying to do 1% a day, would fail. Now, and that was the original goal. We're like, okay, let's do 1% a day, and we're gonna really kill this. We're gonna rock it. And I put out this thing on the spreadsheet there that basically listed what 1% a day will do to your investment, and it's incredible. So, but have I been able to do that? The answer is no. I have been able to do some stuff. Oops, that's the wrong link. I have been able to do some stuff in Bittrex and with good effect. And in fact, Bitcoin Cash here, I made some. I don't know. I made 10% yesterday or something like that. I was playing very conservative, and I've been trading in a whole bunch of different coins here. So these are all the different coins that I'm in. And right now, they're all mostly in the negative. So, and my balance here really seems to fluctuate. It says it's worth $383 USD right now. That's partly because Bitcoin is falling so low right now. But it was as high as $500 worth when Bitcoin was higher. So it is really, really crazy. Okay, let's see here. Okay, now, yeah, okay, so let's talk about what's happened recently. So Oroshari says everything is down due to the cessation of SegWit 2x. And so here's something really interesting. So as Bitcoin drops, you see it's dropping here, and it's been dropping for, the last hour and a half or so. And then look at, let's look at Bitcoin Cash. And let's see here. I don't have any holdings in it currently. But it's definitely its top volume. And Bitcoin Cash, see this? This is right at the same time as Bitcoin is dropping. This is going up. And so would now be a good time to buy? Maybe. So this is not falling quite as fast as it was. And in fact, you can see there's a bit of, it's gaining again a bit. But, this is just all very interesting. And look at how much it's gone up just in the last few minutes. So, well, let's just say here, let's see, this was 6:30, so an hour and a half ago, it was at, we'll call this 200. This is Bitcoin values, and we'll call this 200. And it is at 293 right now, which means that is about 30%. And so, you could sell right now and make 30% on your money if you had bought down here. There's also some things to be said about how Bitcoin, now that's going back up again, if this continues to increase, we should see a slowing in this right here. Let's change the timeline to match what we've got on the other one, which is a 5-minute candlestick or measurement. So it's still going up. I don't know how far it's going to go, and I'm not saying to anybody right now, go and buy. You gotta study these things, and you gotta learn them better, and you really just gotta pay attention. Also, something else happened overnight, which was pretty incredible, which was that it hit 55.21 last night. And that is pretty incredible. I had a buy order in for 6,000 and I wasn't 100% sure I'd even hit that, but I did. And so, and I was a little bit surprised when I saw that this morning. And my plan is that I'm going to sell again at about 6,800, and then I'm going to buy again at about 6,200. So I'm going to kind of sit in this middle range here and try and flip it back and forth. Now you end up with FOMO from that, which is fear of missing out, and so it's pretty crazy. Let's see here. Caro, yes, this is gdax.com. GDAX.com is this site right here. There is a link in the Twitch chat right there, just above your comment, which is to the whole challenge on this. Then and below it, in both the description on YouTube and in Twitch, there's a link to Coinbase. Right there. Coinbase is associated with GDAX, and if you want to get in on this challenge, you can do the whole thing. You can, do it for 30 days by yourself. You don't have to have been there right in the start on this, because you can still prove it to yourself on how you're doing. And if you use that Coinbase link, you'll get an extra $10 worth of Bitcoin if you buy Bitcoin. And I get a bonus of $10 worth of Bitcoin. So just to be clear, I get a kickback off of that. But Coinbase is what I'm using, and I wouldn't recommend anything that I don't use. So, and Coinbase is associated with GDAX, and you can transfer into the market for free instead of having to pay a transfer fee. So, okay. Now, another question here that came in, let's see here. What am I feeling about trading bots? So I think that I like the idea of trading bots, and there are some trading bots out there. I believe that most of them cost as a service, and I like the idea of them once you know what you're doing. I 100% encourage you to learn how to trade manually before even thinking about a bot. And, in video games, bots generally are a violation of the terms of service. In cryptocurrency trading, no one cares. So, people just want there to be movement on the money, because when there's movement on the money, people make profit. And when there's not movement on the money, nobody makes profit. And they don't care if it's a bot doing it or it's a human. So they just don't care. Oh, look at that. Okay, so as I was saying, see, look at this. Look at the relation of this. It's going back down here, and it's going back up here. So there's this teeter-tottering going on here. Does anybody have the link? There's a site that shows the mining the mining hash rates of Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin at the same time. If somebody has that link, could you post it and I'll show it? I don't have the link. It's on my other computer. So there's a relationship here of this going up and down like this, and we've seen this before with alts. Thank you for that link there. Yes, it's fork.lol. What the hell? Okay, so what this says right here, and let me copy this over for you on YouTube. And so there you go on YouTube. And let's see here. Oh, and there's bit info charts of hash rates. Let's look at that one too. And let's see, that opened up. Why did that open up on a different window? Here we go. Let's see here. So here's another one. Oh, and I am blocking the view on that. I'm magic floating head. I can move myself around like that. Okay, so I don't like this view. This one's hard to look at. Let's look at this one here. Okay, so this is BTC here, the yellow line. This is BCH. Now, this is another thing about Bitcoin Cash. Some places call Bitcoin Cash BHC, and other places call Bitcoin Cash BCC. And either that or I am just confused. But that's what it appears to me, that depending on where you are at, it is called something different, possibly. Okay, so here we have August 20th. That's quite a while ago. Maybe this is when Bitcoin Cash first came out, but here we go. So this is actually kind of scary. So Bitcoin Cash is at 1.82 times over this. So this is very interesting. Now here's why this matters. So as we watch stuff go up and down here and everything, the creator of Bitcoin, is it Satoshi? I forget how to pronounce his name. Satoshi. And so with SegWit X2 was supposed to be coming out, and everybody freaked out about that, including myself, saying, you know what, this is going to be like a hostile takeover. And Satoshi, thank you, Cairo. Since it was looking to be a hostile takeover, akin to a government coup. And so that is kind of a scary thing. I mean, if you think about it, with your country, with the government being taken over and a change coming in, you know, whether you think it's needed and it's wanted or not, that's a really scary proposition, because it leaves you in this area of not knowing what the hell's going to happen. And there's so much uncertainty, and that really causes markets a problem, and it causes a lot of other problems. And so Satoshi put in his documentation of this that the longest chain wins. And what that means is that he foresaw that possibly there would be a fork that would happen in the future, and that if that fork happened, the one that would be named Bitcoin was the one with the longer chain. So, now Bitcoin Cash comes from Bitcoin. And so if we follow that principle that he set forth on there, and the mining increases on Bitcoin Cash and keeps going, and follows the same code base, because I believe that Bitcoin Gold is not same code base, and it changes over to being GPU, and I don't know what he foresaw with that. But if the chain gets longer with Bitcoin Cash than it does with Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash becomes Bitcoin. Does that make sense? So if it forks out and we've got two, and let's say this is Bitcoin and it's up here, and then Bitcoin Cash goes up here, this takes on the name of Bitcoin. It becomes Bitcoin. This one probably gets renamed to Bitcoin Classic or something like that. And so if it continues this way, then we could see that change happen. And there's good and bad with that. One is that Bitcoin Cash has been out for a while. Some people call it a Ponzi, some people call it whatever, you know, call it a scam, call it whatever you will. If the miners have the control here, not you and I in our buying and selling of the currencies, our trading of them, it doesn't matter to us. What it matters is what the miners think and where the miners go. And if all the miners decide, or the majority of miners decide, that they want Bitcoin Cash to take over, they will make it happen, and it will. And that could be very disruptive to everything. It could be exactly what is needed and wanted, because there's some really big problems with Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, think of it as this like monolithic structure that is, it is Roman Empire. It's these giant buildings that are just so strong and everything. And so it takes an enormous amount of effort to break them down. It comes up, to where that structure is really hard to break down, even if for a period of time the opposing forces are much, much stronger. It may have the fortitude to withstand that and still recover. So, and in fact, that is what has happened every time, is that Bitcoin, even though it's been threatened many times, it still has come out as king, even with its faults. But with its faults, it cannot go forever. And the reason I say that is because there are only so many transactions that can happen per second with Bitcoin, and the volumes with other coins that are out, they are like 1,000 times more, 1,000 times, not just 1,000 more, but 1,000 times more transactions per second. And this is a big problem with Bitcoin. So anyway, I just want to share that information about this, because a lot of you may not understand that Bitcoin is like the president's plane. President of the United States, you guys may not know this. Some of you may not. The president, whatever vehicle he is in, is number one. And so when he's in his plane, it's Air Force One. When he's in his helicopter, it's Marine One. And they get renamed back to whatever their original designation is when he is not on board. And so with that, wherever Bitcoin goes, that is what is called Bitcoin, according to Satoshi. So anyway, I believe, though, that this is a good plan for cryptocurrency overall, because even if Bitcoin is replaced, we get a new Bitcoin. See, one that's better, more improved. So I'm not too worried about it. Thank you for those links there. And this other one here is kind of interesting. It's really hard to read, though. I think I would really need to decrease scope on this, and I don't know. Oh, there we go. But now how do I get over to the other place? Oh my God. Yeah, I'm failing on this one. Okay, we'll leave this one alone. I'll look at that later. So, all right. Now, Bitcoin up and down here still. Let's look at Bitcoin Cash. It's going back up again. See, I think there's a direct relation. There's a lot of people that are moving over to Bitcoin Cash. Okay, so did Bitcoin take over Ethereum? Ethereum came out after Bitcoin, and Ethereum is a different beast. So Ethereum here is, wow, look at these candlesticks. That shows mega volatility there. Anyway, Ethereum, okay, so Bitcoin is an ASICs, or it used to be CPU, but it's an ASICs-based coin. And and Ethereum is GPU-based. So it is different. It's a different way of being mined, and they're not really in competition with each other. Ethereum is also, so Bitcoin is designed to be value and to a currency that accrues value, and Ethereum is designed to be a currency that maintains value. So there's some differences there, and I can't tell you that I 100% can explain all of that, but it is Basically, they didn't design Ethereum to keep rising in price or in value. Ethereum is more of something that's supposed to be a stable currency to be used. And in fact, when you are trading on, one of these other sites here, like Bittrex, these prices here, they're all in Bitcoin here. And then there's Ethereum marketplaces here as well. And so, and then there's the U.S. market, and this is U.S. dollars, not like you can only trade if you're in the USA. It's just against U.S. dollars. And so the majority of traders that I have come across all use Bitcoin as the currency, although there's been talk with it being so volatile lately that maybe they want to switch to Ethereum. There's also been talk of, well, will Bitcoin Cash become the new thing? Well, it'll become Bitcoin if it continues to do what it's doing. So, and yeah, so, and Oroshare says, be careful about Bitcoin at the moment. It's probably going to drop over the next couple of days and will probably peak at 6,500 unless another breakthrough happens. Yes. So that is my thoughts as well, that it is very volatile and dangerous. So I have some Bitcoin here, and you can see here that I've done some buying and selling. Or here, let me move my camera again. Yes, I don't know. I'm just in the way here. Let me just make myself a little bit smaller. That'll help too. So. Okay, so here's let me just start talking about some of my plans and how I have been dealing with things. And one is that I thought, okay, I'm gonna just buy Bitcoin and I'm gonna stay in there because it just kept going up and up and up. And then the SegWit X2 fork failure caused it to go just apeshit all over the place. And so I had to readjust again. Now, do I believe that Bitcoin is going to continue to go up? The answer is yes, I do. Do I believe that I can make money in this volatility going up and down here? The answer is yes, I do. And so what have I done about that? Okay, in the challenge, we have $100. And that $100 is what we've been using in the challenge. Some people put in 1,000. A couple of people put in like 10. And the challenge is still available. So if you do, I think it's !crypto in the Twitch chat, and there's a link in the description in YouTube. You can get my spreadsheet here, and you can start doing this for yourself. You just change one date up here, or well, actually, you'd have to change a bunch. You just change. I can't believe I did all those manually. Really? That is so dumb. You change one date up here, and then you grab the little corner and you start pulling it down. And anyway, and then you can change the date to, the first day of the challenge right here to whatever the current day is where you start. And then you grab the there's a little knob that'll show up there, and you grab that and pull that down, and it'll add one day to it. It should work. Anyway, it may not, but whatever. I kind of designed this half-brained. But you can go through the days. You can go just through the day number, forget about, whatever. Actually, we could take dates out and just put in day numbers. And so... I've been up and down on this. The first thing I did was lose money. I almost broke even right here, and then I've lost. And it's been a good learning experience. I feel like I'm paying for my education. So, I'm hoping that I come out on top. I hope that I have my currency and Bitcoin, and it just skyrockets and it hits 10K and woohoo, I win. I made my 30%. That's most likely not going to happen. So, but I can dream. And So you can participate along with this. It doesn't have to be right at the beginning. And anyway, you can do that, and it has some examples in there. And if you go to my first videos in this series on YouTube, we explain a lot about how to edit that and everything. So, and I will create some more charts after this challenge because we're going to get into some more things as well. I'm going to show you some other trading beyond what I've showed you, and we're going to get heavy into mining. So I am making money mining right now, and I'm going to share with you how I'm doing it. And there's multiple ways to do it. So we're gonna, I'm going to share that with you. And so I've got things pretty well figured out, so I won't be bumbling around in the beginning. So kind of like we did with this trading. And mining is a different way of looking at things, because mining, you're earning potential, you're earning every day, and you're not having to invest money. You are investing power and use of your computers. But at least for myself, my costs are less than 20% of the gross earnings. So it's not bad at all. And I'm going to show you guys CPU mining too. So, which is a thing from the past that's coming back. So any computer can do this. And we're about to do cell phone mining too. Oh my God. Yeah, I'll be showing that too. It's going to be great. So, okay, you're going to be able to put those old cell phones to use maybe. I don't know. We're going to measure it and we're going to figure it out. So, okay, now let's see here. So Bitcoin Cash here, I can't call whether or not you should be getting in on this. It's really difficult. I have some, but I'll show you what I did yesterday, and I'll show you something else that I've learned. So, okay, so here it is. I bought at 210. I'm just taking the last, after the decimals here. Call it shorthand instead of saying this whole number out. And then I sold at 230. That 230 I put in as a stop order when it was at 257. And so I'm really happy. Okay, so let me explain something here. Stop orders are very, very important. And I 100% did not understand this at the beginning of this challenge. So I've actually been reading some books about trading and how to trade properly. All of them are stock market books, but it's been really, really educational, especially on how to do stop loss. And so I'm going to share with you how I did that right now. And there's a couple of different ways that it's done. And so I put a stop loss on profit, which sounds insanely screwed up. But there's a couple of ways to do this. And so you can put a stop loss on something going up that you're going to buy at a certain time when you're playing the market going down, and you can put a stop loss when the market falls when it's going up. And so I've made less profit because, holy cow, if I had just stayed up for a few more hours, I literally went to bed, I don't know. Let's see, it says it's 8:40 right here. This must be converting to my time and not be UTC time. It's 8:50 in the morning at my location right now. So this must be, I usually run everything on UTC time, but it looks like this is on my current time. So, so here we are last night, and this right here is when I'm like, I'm going to bed, and I put in my stop loss at 230, and it was at 257. What I was hoping is that I would come in today, come back this morning, and it'd be at like 400, which it hit, and then I'd be like going, woohoo, man, because it doubled since where I bought. Because I bought at 210, it hit all the way up at 420 something. So, I mean, that's incredible. And I could have doubled my money, But how much did I really have in there? I only had $40 worth in there. So the amount that I purchased was only $40. And oh, do I have a list of books somewhere? The books I mentioned. Fosmora, I do not have a list of it. Let me finish the book that I'm on, which is really, really good, and then I will recommend it. So I'll have to find out where to get the book, because someone handed it to me, and I don't even know if it's still in print. So anyway, I will look that up, and I don't have it with me. It's in the other room. Is this the weed coin? No, that's called pot. I kid you not. There is a pot coin. So anyway, if I had stayed up, let's see here, it got down here to 261. So if I had gotten up before, you know, because it was at 2:30, so down in here, so at 3 a.m. this morning, you know, my order kicked in, or actually no, it kicked in here at 2 a.m. And if I had been watching this though, and I saw this huge drop right here, I might have chosen to sell. So here's what I was doing. And stop loss is such a huge game changer to how you invest. And people told me when I started this challenge, they're like, you're not using stop loss, you're just gambling. And I heard that from a few people, and so I knew there was something to that, but I'm like, whatever, because I don't know what it means, you know? So I now know how stop loss works and how you're supposed to use it with investing. And here's the theory. So the theory is that you buy, let's say you buy at 100, whatever it is, you buy at 100, and then you can set your stop loss at 90. So if you buy and it doesn't go the way that you planned, Sergeant Pepper, thanks for the host. Welcome everybody from Sergeant Pepper's stream. We are talking about making money here. So yeah, welcome everybody. And all of you who are gamers from Sergeant Pepper's stream, part of this stuff here, not today we're talking about on the show, but later, we're going to talk about how to use your GPUs to make money. You can probably make as much to buy a video game a month. So anyway, so if you are at 100 and then you set your stop loss at 90 and your target is at 120. So if your target's at 120 and it's currently going up and everything, and you got your stop loss at 90, basically what you're saying here is that if it goes down 10%, I sell and I take the loss. But if your target is 120, so it starts going up, and it doesn't mean you have to sell then. It just means that that's your target. You could put in a sell order for that and just watch it. Or you can put in your stop loss order, which means that you tie up those funds in the stop loss order, and you can't sell until you release that. And I wish that I could put in both at the same time. If there is a way to do that, somebody let me know, because I would love to put in a sell price and the stop price at the same time and just have it execute whichever one. That would be awesome. And maybe that's where a bot comes in. So you get up to, let's say you get up to 120. You don't have to sell right then if that's your target. So you can take then and say, okay, I set my stop loss at 10% of where it's at right now. And this is what I did yesterday with this. And so I set it at 10% of what it was right then. And so in an instance of starting at 100, stop loss at 90, target of 120, I hit the 120, I decide I'm not going to sell, I'm going to ride it longer. Let's take it down 10% from there and put it at 108. That's about 10% or something, 109, whatever. And so I set my stop loss there at that point then. I can walk away and it can keep going up and up and up, and I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to sweat about it. And if it falls down and hits that stop loss, I still have made 9% profit. So that's good. Okay, now, but I want to hit higher. So the target would be that I sell at 20% profit every time and stop loss at 10% loss. If I'm 50-50 on my stuff, like let's just take two transactions here. One, I'm successful and I hit the 120. The other one, I'm not, and I hit 100 and it goes down to 90 and it sells. Okay, so I take 100 and I turn it into 120 on the successful one. I take the other 100 and it turns into 90 on the non-successful one. So we started out with 200 total. So 90 plus 120 is 210. I am up 10%, even though I have a success rate of only 50%. So do you get how that math works? So you have these higher targets where you make more. Now, you can also set a target of sell at 10% and a stop loss of 5%, although these are so volatile, I worry about hitting that 5%, that it might just accidentally trigger in its normal volatility before it shoots up. So, anyway, you can do this, and you can do this on a long term, you can do this on short term, or whatever. So if you buy at 100 and whatever you're holding is at 200 right now, set your stop loss at 180, and if it continues to go up, fine. If it sells at 180, you've made 80% profit, and you've got funds there again to go back into the market at whatever point you deem is appropriate. You've made the money. So this is why stop loss is so important. Now let me show you what else I did on that. And so I did a stop loss or a stop buy at 6,800. And I took a loss on this. But here's what I did. So I sold at 65.44 the other day. And is that a sell or is that a buy? I get so confused. I am frickin' dyslexic. And I kid you not, I get confused every single time on which color means what. It's like my fucking left and right. I can't ever figure it out. So that's one of the things about my dyslexia that I really don't like. There's some other things. There's actually some benefits to it too because you think differently. But in this area, man, I always get confused. Okay, I wish this would say buy and would say sell. But so I sold at 65.44. And because I felt like it was going down and I wanted to try and, what I wanted to try and do at the 65.44 is I wanted to try and buy lower. So I sold it in the hopes that I could sell lower so that I could lower my investment cost in it. And so you're taking a little bit of loss there. But then, you know, it dips down further and you buy at this lower point and then it shoots back up again. And that margin right there is additional profit. That was my thought. Except the market went the wrong way. So I set a stop buy order at 6,800. And what that meant is that if it hit 6,800, it automatically purchased again, and I am taking the loss. But it's so that I get back into the game again if it continues to just shoot up. So that happened, and I had to pay percentages on those because stop orders are a percentage, even though they have limit stuff in them. The limit orders are free, at least on GDAX, but the stops and the just market orders are not free. They're only, you know, a quarter of 1%, but that's how they are. So anyway, I ended up buying again, and I took a loss on that margin or on that spread there. So then I sold again in the hopes of replicating this, and I sold again at 62.21, and then I put in a buy order at 6,000. And while I was watching it, and it did hit 6,000, and I was able to buy. So now, if I was really worried about things with the 6,000, I'm looking at this long term. I'm not going to sell. I'm not going to short sell it again, and do this. And even if it goes down to 4,000, I'm not like exiting out. That's not my plan. But so I have got right now this. I've got right now. I've got 0.0133 BTC, and if I wanted to put in a stop loss order, so the stop price here, let's say that if it got down to 4,800, and here, let me move my camera over again. If it got down to 4,800 that I wanted to sell, and so the stop price would be 4,800, and then or 4810, and then I would put in the limit price at 4,800. You got to give yourself a spread there. So because if it's dropping down and you hit, so what this order says is that if it's dropping down and it hits 4,800, that I want it to put in a sell order for 4,800. It'll actually sell higher if it can, but it puts in this sell order and tries to sell it right away. And if the market is really dropping fast, it could sell for less than that. But this is you know, how I have been doing that. And so, but I don't, you know, I look at Bitcoin as long term. I actually look at Bitcoin as my currency now, whereas I was looking at my currency as US dollars, but I'm looking at Bitcoin as my currency now. And so it doesn't, I'm not gonna put in this order because I don't want that to happen. What I am gonna do is I am going to sell this amount of BTC, and I want to hit at let's say 6,800. And actually, I think what I want to do is I want to do 67.99, and you know, kind of an odd amount where there's not a lot of resistance. If you do it right at an even dollar amount, you might have a lot of resistance right there, and it may not hit it. So I'm putting in an order to sell all of this at 69.77, and it's gonna it'll show up in here. And okay, so let me make sure on this. So it's a sell limit. That I'm just going over my numbers because you don't want to make mistakes. I did make a mistake once, and I put in the wrong price, and it sold instantly, and that was not what I was trying to. That's not what I was trying to do. Thank God, because I missed a digit, and thank God it just sold it at the price that it was currently at, and it didn't just sell for the price that I put it at in. So, okay, so I'm placing this sell order. Okay. So now this sell order is in here. It's about 6,800. If this pops up to 6,800 again today or tomorrow, it's going to sell. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to put in a limit buy order, which I don't have any cash right now in here, but I'm going to put in a limit buy order down at like 6,200. And I should be able to hit that. If I don't, and it just keeps going up and up and up, well, then I missed out. I made a bad decision. But right now, it's going up and down, up and down, up and down so much that I think I can hit these margins. And 6,200 to 6,800 is $600 change. That's about 10%. So I could actually make 10% on each trade. And if my goal is 1% per day, I could go 7 or 8 days on that and it not be an issue. So hopefully that hits. And so, you know, that's my plan. Now, I would like to get more better on this, to have like alerts on my phone and stuff for when this happens. Coinbase does have an alert thing, but it's for Coinbase, not GDAX. And I can set it to ping me, but it really doesn't ping me. It just puts a little thing on my screen, which I miss all the time. So, so anyway. That's my plan right there. So if we hit 6,800, I will have sold that, and then I'll place a buy order, and I'm going to try and bounce up and down in there. So, and hopefully I can. If it goes up to 8 grand, 10K or something like that unexpectedly after I sell, then I'm just going to have to choose a new entry point in. And I miss the profit on all of that. But that's part of the chances on this. Now, someone who's really good at reading the markets would say, okay, well, this is not going to do this, or this is going to do this. I can tell you what the experts are saying right now. The experts are saying Bitcoin is very dangerous, meaning that they are making very, very hyper-calculated plays, and they're not really giving a lot of recommendations on what people should do, and that's probably the safest route. So, okay. Now let's look at let's look at my wallets here. So I have a lot of stuff here that I have been doing. This is not part of the challenge. This is different stuff here. All of them are down. I actually look at all of these as long-term investments, and you know, it's just kind of the way I'm trying different things. So there's a difference between day trading and investment. Investment is longer term. Day trading, you try and swap during the day, and you're trying to make 10% overall during the day. Whereas, you know, long-term investments, you know, you're hoping to make 10% a month or a year, you know, something like that. Actually, you want to probably make like 30% in a year and 10% in a month minimums, something like that. So, hello, Brian. Okay, now, oh, and I see the question about Bitcoin Gold. So the wallets come out today, supposedly. Supposedly, I do have Bitcoin Gold from that fork. I have not figured out how I'm taking advantage of it yet. I have it in in an actual computer-based wallet. It's just, I don't even know how I'm going to do it yet. So I've read instructions on how to do this fork, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to pull it off properly. I just don't know. So, okay. So all of these coins here, and let's look at, so I have a bunch that are available balance. These ones are ones that I bought that I said, okay, I'm going to hold on to them for various reasons because I want to track them or whatnot. I like what they you know stand for. I like what they're doing and everything, and so like basic attention token. This one is based on. It is actually based on influencers, someone like me on YouTube or on Twitch, and this is the currency that is paid to people, and because influencers are such an international market that they are pitching using this coin right here as the payment, and then you don't have to worry about getting paid in euros or rupees or rubles or pesos or dollars or whatever. It's just all in this. So I kind of liked the premise. I don't really know where it's going to go. And let's see here. I bought here at 2023, and it is currently at 2105. So if I wanted to do this in a fashion of that I'm looking for this to be investment that's not long term and I'm scared of it, and BAT made by the Firefox dev and Brave. Interesting. So we have here that I bought it at 2023. Okay, so let's just say that I'm worried that that this is going to go down and I don't want to lose any money. I'm holding this long term, so I'm not going to sell it. So, but I'm going to show you how to put in a stop loss here in Bittrex. So I put in all of it here because you can do partial of it or you can put in all of it, but I told it to do all 50 I have, which 50 really isn't very much. I mean, they're worth 13 cents each. Do the math. What is this, $6? I just wanted to have a little bit in for, for messing with it. Okay, so the we're going to do limit conditional, and the condition is this is where I messed up. You can do greater than or equal to. That's for if the market's going. going up that you want to sell at a particular point, like this is where I wish that I could put in both, like I was mentioning, but you can only do one as far as I can tell, unless condition good until canceled, immediate or cancel. So if it was going up and you wanted to make sure you sold at what you thought was going to be the high point and you're going to be away from your computer, then you would enter the greater than or equal to. If you're worried about it dropping and going too low, then you'd put it in the less than equal to. Okay, so I copied what I paid for it, and then let's say that I wanted to do a 10% less. I changed this to 18. I want to make sure this doesn't hit this while we're doing this. I don't want to accidentally sell. And then the price is going to be pretty close to this. So when it hits this right here, if it goes down to this, then I want to sell. And so I'm going to put my sell order here at 1800. There's a little bit of a spread there, and that's so that it can put the sell order in and probably hit that. I do have some question in my mind about whether or not it will, if it's dropping so fast, whether or not then I put in the sell order at 1800 and it's already below that, as to whether or not what will happen with that. It might be just a sell order that's sitting there waiting for the market to come back up, or will it sell it at whatever rate it can get? I don't know that. So anyway, it tells me how much BTC I'll get here, and so I can put in this right here. So here's the condition. If it is less than or equal to this 1823, it's going to put in a sell order at 1800. So I put this in, and it confirms here. So it confirms here the sell order will submit when the next executed trade is less than or equal to 1823. I confirm that. And you see here, it says that the sell order is going in, but it doesn't show up in, it won't show up in the order book here. I don't believe it shows up in here because it's not really in order yet. If we hit that 1823, then it'll go into the ranges here, and it'll show up as a sell order then. So it's kind of hidden until that point. So here it is, right here, and so I could leave that, and I can walk away confident that if it goes too low, that I'm going to be able to cash out, and I'll just walk away with the amount that I'm currently at. And so now, if same token, see, I can't do it again. I have 0 available, but I would love to be able to redo this and say if it's greater to or equal than, and we put it at, let's change these to 4s. I don't think it'll let me do this. See, it's at 0 BTC because I have 0 available. Yeah. I really wish it would allow me to put in both, because then it can execute whichever one hits. Doesn't seem to do that. So, but that would be awesome if it did. And maybe there is a exchange that would let me do that. So, okay. Try the Bitcoin ticker app for iPhone. Set an alarm at the price. Yeah, maybe that's what I need to do. So, have I made profit since I started? No, I'm actually behind. So, but I'm learning a lot. I'm calling it my cost of education. So, so should I not keep them until they're worth more? Yeah, well, this sell order is if it goes down. And so I'm not too, I bought into this, and, I'm just kind of watching it. I just wanted to have a little stakehold into it because I was interested in their project. I'm going to cancel this. By the way, placing that order does not cost me anything. It said that there would be charges there. It doesn't charge until it executes, which means until it sells. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, now I have the 50 available again, and I just hold on to them. So it's very similar on GDAX, except GDAX doesn't have the conditions of greater than or less than. You just put it in, and it figures it. It figures it out. So anyway, that's been the game changer for me, and I think that is going to change a lot of stuff for me. And I'm probably going to do some sort of other challenge after this, and it's probably not going to be on GDAX. It's probably going to be here on Bittrex, or maybe another exchange, because the amount of coins that I have available to me here is much greater, and I like being able to jump into other things. So the currency here is Bitcoin. And so even though, I mean, I was at 0.066 last night, and it's gone down a little bit. All of these have gone down. But since Bitcoin has gone down so much, it's just lost value there. And the way you think about Bitcoin Cash, all of these, the way you think about these things, let's see here, is that their value is all in Bitcoin, and then you sell off Bitcoin to at a high point when you want dollars. So that's kind of the way it is. Yes, and Bintyant's Crazy Weed Hiker says, yeah, I agree that might be another one. So there's actually several different places for it. So okay, Bitcoin Gold. I don't think. Let's see. Is it BTG? Is the call symbol? I don't think that there's. I don't think that there is any. Nope. There's no Bitcoin Gold yet on Bittrex. I don't know if they'll be supporting it or not. There is Bitcoin Gold on some other exchanges, and I may have to use those other exchanges. Now, I've got. So what I have is I have 0.14 of Bitcoin that was in for the fork. It's not very much, it's $1,000 worth or whatever. And I don't know what Bitcoin Gold is going to be worth. When I was looking at it a week ago or so, it was going to be worth like $13 per coin. I'm sure that has changed. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find Bitcoin Gold futures. Whoa, really? 355. Okay, so at 355 bucks, 0.14 would be 40 bucks. It's going to be worth my time to try and do this fork, if nothing else, to learn how to do it. I think that that in the future, that I am going to probably park my currency for a fork at whatever exchange or site says that they will fork it for me, because it's just incredibly complicated. And maybe it's incredibly complicated because I've not done it successfully before, but I will be trying it, and if I figure it out, I will share that experience with all of you. So let's see here. Yeah, so it's very interesting to see. Nicholas, thank you. It's very interesting to see this stuff, and so supposedly this comes out today. So it's bitcoingold.org. Yeah, so it looks like we've got 4 hours, and oh, check my address balance before. Okay, I don't know if I should even do that on live on the show. So I will I'll try and figure this out. If I get it figured out, I'll try it later today. Although everybody and their mother may be trying it later today, and so it may just be a cluster, And so we got 4 hours before. Oh, look at that! It moves around with my mouse. How annoying. So we got 4 hours before that, and then if the marketplace is open on that, we could see a big price drop in Bitcoin as everybody goes, "Oh my God, Bitcoin Gold! It's the new thing," and is trying to move money to buy it. It could happen. It could happen. So, and if, gosh, see. I'm thinking now. I'm thinking that if that were to happen, and then I could just make another sale again of my Bitcoin as this drops down to 5,400 or whatnot, and then buy again, and then I'll make the margin back on, I'll make more profit going up. I don't know though that that's the answer. So. Yeah, I don't know that I want to take that chance. I want to be successful on this challenge. I think though that in the end I'm going to be behind, and that's who wants to see a loser or whatnot. I don't, but the fact is this is reality. Keep it real. This shit's hard. I'm a smart person, and even I have struggled with this, and I'm learning a hell of a lot. Any loss I ever take as an entrepreneur, I call it cost of education. And then I use that education and I do better in the future. So, or that you're just not cut out for this type of thing. And you should be making investments instead of day trades, or you should be mining instead of doing other stuff. So my mining stuff right now, it's making about $6 a day. It's not a huge amount, but $6 times 30. Think of that in a monthly term. Yeah. So it does, what's that, 180 a month? It does add up, and that is that's pretty cool. So okay. Okay, are there any final questions? We've been talking about this for a little bit over an hour now. I'll take any final questions and we'll see where it goes. If there's no more questions, then we'll probably call it good. And then depending on whether the news is really hot and exciting or not, may or may not be a video tomorrow about this. You can tell volatility. You see the shit jumping all around. You look up here in the spread, this spread up here, when that starts going into the dollars and stuff, things get really volatile and there's a lot of action. Oh, you see it transfer, moving around there? Yeah. So, okay, if people buy Bitcoin Gold, will the value go up or down for Bitcoin Gold? If people are buying Bitcoin Gold, the value will go up. And and probably the value of Bitcoin will go down. That's what I think. So, Red, yes, we did discuss BCH, and you just have to go back earlier in the video. So, okay, well, meaning you can instantly cash out at $300 USD as Bitcoin Gold's current value. Well, so they haven't. So what I looked up there was futures. Futures are probably a good indication of what the market will open at, and so it is a good indicator of what the value will be, but it is not the authority on what it will actually land at. So those are speculation. All right, so I think we're pretty much good. So we will plan on let's see, what is the last day of the challenge? Last day of the challenge, November 18th. What day does that fall on? That falls on a Saturday. We will do a live show on the last day there, and I will make my final sell-off into dollars, or final calculation as to how much it's worth, and we'll do this so plan on Saturday. We will have a live show for cryptocurrency, and we'll do the final tabulation, if nothing else, and answer a lot of questions. And then my focus is going to be twofold after that point. It's going to be, we're going to talk more about trading because I think there's still opportunities, even though it's more of an investment thing for me. And we're going to start doing mining videos. So I'm going to start showing you guys how I'm doing mining, how I'm making money, how I choose my coins, how I, set up my systems to do the mining. And we're even going to start taking some old computers. I got some old computers in the garage. We're going to pull them out. We're going to hook them up, and we're going to start mining with them, and we're going to put some cards in them. We're going to use CPU mining, and we're going to figure out the power usage on them. I will actually be monitoring how much electricity they take and what the cost of that electricity is. And so we'll figure out whether or not they're making money. And if they're making money, great. If they're making a penny a day, screw it, not worth my time. I think for something to at least get my interest, it has to make at least $1 a day. So how many computers do I have mining right now? I have 2 computers mining right now. I have my stream machine, and I have my gaming machine. And so I have done a little bit of mining on my laptop even. It actually was making money doing CPU mining, but heat in a laptop is evil because any heat causes aging in the computer. I mean, heat is hard on a computer, but in a desktop, I can replace a part if something goes out because, it just got too old. But in a laptop, you cannot replace parts if they go out, not easily. So, and I don't have some extended 5-year warranty on it. So, you don't understand what CPU mining is? Can shed light? Yeah, we're going to get into that later. Key term VRM. If you want to see a coin that is done off CPU, it's VRM is the term. So, okay, and that one I am making money on. It's not a huge amount though. Okay, let's see here. Does Coinbase provide private keys for individuals for such things as splits? No, they do not. They do not. So, okay, that is it for today. Thank you everybody for being here. If you're not currently subscribed on YouTube, do subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and so you will see the future videos on this. There's a lot more videos than just cryptocurrency. There's also a lot of entrepreneurial videos. And those of you on Twitch, yes, hit that follow button. I know none of the follows have shown up today. I don't tend to show those on the business shows. And yes, Vericoin, Aetherium. Thank you, Scritch. He put that link in Twitch there. So we will see you all soon. Thanks you all for being here, and have a great day.